Hey everybody, I've got Brian Braun-Duin here, and you drafted a deck that you called Bant BS. What does the BS stand for?
It stands for being smart.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So why were you so smart in this draft?
So everything that I could have ever wanted fell into my lap.
Sounds pretty smart.
Yeah, it was very smart, and I just took the great cards that were in every pack. Sometimes not taking the great ones, but it didn't matter. So
Okay, so you drafted what you call a snow deck, but you've got a lot of great cards.
yeah, so I drafted an abominable tree folk deck, and then also Sarah. So yeah, it was basically a base green snow deck, and then I had a lot of mana fixing. And I played white for Sarah and a bunch of removal spells, and then I played blue for 2 tree folk and a chiller pillar.
So you told me too that you had a couple of tough decisions. I mean, you had a lot of good stuff coming your way, but for you, what were the hardest choices you had to make?
So I frequently had to make a decision between a playable card and a snowland. And I repeatedly took the playable card over the snowland, and then I ended up at the end of the day having way too many playables and not quite as many snowlands to make like the perfect deck. So in hindsight, I wish I had taken some of those snowlands instead. Those are some of the really tough picks in this format where you have to decide, like, is this card going to make my deck, or is the snowland going to matter for my deck? Sometimes it's a really close decision.
And you gave your deck, what'd you say, a 9 out of 10?
I said 8 out of 10, but yeah, I think if I had made slightly better picks, it would have been a 9 or a 10 out of 10 even.
Wow, sounds awesome. I guess being smart pays off. I've got Christian Hauck here, member of the MPL, another of our 3-0 drafters. Tell me how your draft went.
Pretty well. So you've said it's 3-0, so I'm pretty hyped.
And you drafted blue-black ninjas, which is a lot of people's favorite archetype in the format. How did it come together for you?
Well, I first picked the Changeling Outcast, the 1/1 for 1 black, so...
And I think that's somebody who does that has got to love ninjas, right?
I love ninjas, yeah. I think actually it's the best archetype in the format. My first pack wasn't that exciting, so I picked that. It goes into the Goblin archetype, which I also really like, and also the Ninja archetype, so I try to stay open and see what's coming.
What do you think were some of the all-stars in your deck that really made your ninja deck perform really well?
Well, my Ninja deck was basically a bunch of commons, but really good commons. Like, I had no rares. Like, I had the best card, obviously, was my one uncommon, the blue-black ninja who draws cards. Like, it's a mythic uncommon, I call it. But, like, I had so many good removals, like 2 defiles, 3 mobs, and a really good ninja curve. Like, good the 1-drops, the good 2-drops, the good ninjas on 3 and 4. So just a rock and solid ninja deck with good commons.
Yeah, and that's the thing about ninjas. Sometimes you don't need busted rares to make it tick. Christian Hauck, everybody. Hey everybody, I found Thiago Saporito, another 3-0 in draft, and you've got a different archetype than I've been talking to so far today for your 3-0. What did you draft and why?
On red-white slivers, I found out that was open on the middle of the second pack, and after that I started picking all the slivers that I saw, but in pack 3, pick 2, the guy passed me the red-white sliver rare one, I don't know the name, that gives flying and haste.
Oh yes, Cloud Shredder Sliver.
Yeah, so my deck became a lot better.
Wow, okay, so tell me, do you have a sliver count? How many did you have?
Oh, I think I had 10 or 11.
Oh dang, I found Martin Dang here, one of our 3-0 drafters, and you drafted one of my favorite decks, but you called it a bit of an accident. What happened?
Well, I've drafted this format a lot, so I really love drafting it, and I try to stay open as much as I can while I'm drafting. I actually opened one of the swords, and I was just waiting to pick up the signals, and I got some really late snow cards, so I ended up in a snow deck. It wasn't that good, but I think the quality of the cards in general are like not broken and not very high, so you can basically win with anything as long as you get your time to play them.
Well, certainly good enough for a 3-0. Tell me, what were some of your favorite cards in the snow deck?
Oh, I had the Abominable Snowman. It was really good. Like, and I was blessing a Soul Herder, and those two together are just usually a good game for your opponent.
That sounds awesome. For you, is Snow kind of the dream deck in Modern Horizons, but you can't always get it because it's kind of tricky. You need so many playables?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the better archetypes to end up with. I personally love the Ninja deck, but you have to draft whatever you get. And I really when the Snow decks comes together, it's definitely one of the best archetypes. But it's kind of hard to get because you also have to draft the lands, which are sometimes being cut off.
All right, well, Snow deck here from Martin Dane. Good enough for a 3-0.